It is finally here. This is the Roxon Flex. I was so excited when Roxon sent me a message asking me to review this tool. Very happy to do it. This is the Roxon Flex, a pre-production model. This will be out fairly soon. And this is one great tool. So this comes in at 8.9 ounces or 252 grams. And then when we measure the length right here, it is just slightly over 4 inches, a little bit under 4¼ inches. So it is a very cool tool. And right away, talking about design, we see some major cues from the Victorinox Spirit. And that is not a bad thing because the Victorinox Spirit is a fantastic tool that has been around for a very long time in multi-tool years. And just as a side note, I almost wonder if you could use the Victorinox pocket clip on here, but probably not. But it'd be interesting. So some of you guys get this, that'd be a pretty cool thing to try. So let's go ahead and talk about the handles right here. They are very well rounded, very comfortable. That's one of the things I've noticed about Roxon is they really put a lot of effort into designing comfortable multi-tools. And that really sets them apart. And it seems like they try and do an excellent job of making tools easy and more pleasant to use than some other companies. So what we have right here is at the end, we've got a nice set of pliers. One of the things I've begun doing with some multi-tools is sort of checking the back and forth motion of the pliers. And right here, as long as you, at the tip right here, you've got a little bit of play, but as long as you use it at the back, then it does work better. Now, coat hanger has been increasingly hard to cut with a lot of tools. So I wanted to show that this does work, and I have cut a lot of coat hanger with this right here. So you do want to fit it in the notch right here at the bottom, the hardwire notch. So you wanted to fit it in there, and then it works very good. So let's go ahead and cut some copper wire with the wire cutters right there and the soft wire cutters, and those also work very well. So pretty happy with those pliers. And again, you do have to fit the coat hanger in that notch. So keep that in mind. That is one thing you have to do. All right. So the pocket clip is pretty cool as well. Like using that. I have carried this tool since I got it just in today. So this will be a first impressions video, and then I will try to carry this for a while and give a longer term video and probably some more comparison videos on it as well. So one of the things you may have noticed that while I was using it, some of the implements can sort of drift in and out. And what you can do is when you have it in your pocket, you can lock the implements in and then they don't shake out, which is really cool. So let's go ahead and unlock this. And then again, the inside implements, we do see a lot of design cues from Victorinox talking about this knife shape and then some other things. And again, that's not really a bad thing. The tools look very well. And to be honest, this looks like a very premium multi-tool. So what we have is we've got a pair of scissors. We've got a Phillips screwdriver. We've got a can or bottle cap lifter with a large screwdriver. We've got a can opener, and we have a knife. We have a chisel right here, which is cool. We've got a wire cutter and a wire stripper is what it looks like to me. We've got a cutting hook right here. And then we've got the awl. And then this tool right here, don't be worried about this because they do have a full length file as well. This is a sort of a smaller file with a screwdriver and then a depth gauge on the back in metric and inches. So, and again, this is modular, so you can very easily swap these tools in and out. So let's go ahead and look at these features a little bit more in depth. Let's go ahead and look at the scissors. Now, I was fairly confident that these scissors were, well, that they were just going to be really good. But again, I had to check them out. So let's go ahead and use these on paracord, and again, they work very well. One of the things I do want to mention is that you do need to open the scissors up fairly large to cut the paracord. I think just because the scissors are a little bit smaller than some of the other ones I've been using, but they are very sharp and they do cut as long as the paracord is in there with no issue at all. So that is nice to see that work out very well. All right, and then how this mechanism works is you go ahead and let's close it down here. So again, Roxon's touch about making a multi-tool very easy to use. You have access to the tools, and then you have a nail nick right there. And then once it's locked, you just push down slightly, and then you unlock it right there. All right, then let's go ahead and look at the Phillips screwdriver. Now, the Phillips screwdriver, I was really curious about this because I thought, how can you use this with a bit kit? So Roxon rather does have their 4mm bit kit. Not a huge fan of 4mm, to be honest. I really would prefer a 1/4 inch. So I rummaged around in all my bit drawer. I've got a couple drawers full of multi-tool bits, and I found this 1/4 inch bit kit that comes with a smaller diameter or a smaller square, almost a rectangle in the back. And this actually fits on a lot more secure. And then you can go ahead and use this as a 1/4 inch driver. Now, Roxon does not recommend this, and they may not be happy if you do this, but it is possible to do that. So keep that in mind. There is a little bit more wiggle. The Roxon 4mm bit is definitely a lot more secure, but if that's something you're worried about, keep in mind that you still can use this with this specific style of a 1/4 inch bit adapter. And this is one of those that comes with those, again, like the Felissa multi-tools and so forth, not the Leatherman Wave style, but some of the other ones. All right, so let's go ahead and collapse this right here. Again, it's very easy. You just push back there a little bit, and then I think we've sort of don't need to talk about the bottle cap lifter, the can opener, probably not too much more. The large screwdriver looks pretty nice as well. Looks pretty beefy. And then let's go ahead and talk about this side. So we do have the awl. I want to mention that this does seem pretty sharp right here. We do have the file, and I do think a lot of you will be more interested in the full-length file that comes with my kit, and that is very easy to swap out. And then you do have this cutter as well, and perhaps that can be used for cutting boxes very, very good. Some of these cutters aren't extremely sharp with cutting something like paracord. You know, that's a little bit too much. And I think this might be used, you know, for cutting lesser cordage. So that can be very useful. And then the chisel, I think that's pretty cool right here. And then you do have this pretty sharp blade at the bottom for like cutting thick wires. So the sheath of wires. So that's pretty cool. So if you have some of that hard wire like we were cutting earlier, something like this, again, this tool could be very useful. And I think I would mount it on the other side because I'm right-handed, but very useful. And again, I'm going to cut myself if I do it that way, but very useful for stripping wire, probably, the sheathing off it. All right, and then the knife right here, let's go ahead and extend this. This, again, looks very nice as well. And keep in mind that you can swap it out for the serrated blade as well. So if some of you really like that. And then let's go ahead and collapse this. So let's look at the other tools that are included. So there is a diamond file, and then it looks like a hook sharpener right here as well. Diamond file on one side diamond file right there. or actually, I guess this might be a file as well on the other side. And then we do have the serrated blade right here. Then we do have the gauge tool. And then we do have the fish to scaler, and then the hook to gouger, I guess it is, perhaps called. And then we also have the saw. Pretty cool. And then we also do have the scalpel tool, where you can put a scalpel on there instead of your main blade. And then also there is the Allen wrench to work on the tool. So really an excellent system. So let's talk a little bit about the modular system. And this is very easy to use. At least it has been for me so far. I guess I probably shouldn't say it's easy until I show it on camera. But so you can do this fully extended, and then you lock this in place. And then this goes ahead and you can slip that out like so. Let's say maybe you wanted the serrated blade right here. Just slip it in right there, and there you go. So very simple, very easy to do. Very cool. So let's go ahead and take this back out. Let's swap back in the can opener. So let's put this in there, and then we're done. So very easy to do, and very impressed with the system. So this is a very smooth system. Let's go ahead and just do a main blade right here, just to show how this is done. So we'll lock it in place, take out the main blade. Let's go ahead and swap in. Again, you need to make sure that all your tools are falling to the other side right here. And then you just swap in your knife, and there you go. You're ready to go. So very, very cool. Really impressed with what Roxon has done. Roxon is quickly becoming a company to watch for, and everyone else better be aware, because they are making leaps and bounds. And this tool right here, just over 4 inches long, 8.9 ounces, 252 grams, and being released very soon, coming in around the price point, a little bit under $100 right here. This right here is a very, very good tool. And we'll talk about in the future, do a couple more reviews. Let me know what you think. Make sure to post your questions below.